Yeah, I've born and raised in Harrow, so it's literally 15 minutes away. It's been a stadium. Obviously, I've lived close by. I've seen it. I saw it get built. Living so close to it. Being at Barnet, you could see the arch from the training ground. So it's definitely a nice occasion.
And for you personally as well, I think go back sort of 4 or 5 years or so, you were playing at Hampton and Richmond. Now you're finding yourself a game away from the Premier League. Are you sort of pinching yourself at the moment?
Yeah, honestly, it's just something that we've dreamt about, worked hard towards, and for you to say that we're one game away from it is obviously amazing, but the job's not done yet, so we'll see after the game on Saturday.
But I mean, in those times, when you were playing non-league, were you still thinking that these days could still lie ahead for you?
Yeah, of course. I always kept belief. There was obviously times where it was tough, mentally, physically, emotionally. It was tough, but I always had that faith that it would work to some extent in a professional game, whether that was League Two, League One, Championship, or the Premier League. So I've had that faith, obviously not knowing how far I could go, but I always had faith in getting back into the league.
I know you say the job's not done yet, but because you've made that progression and you've managed to step up each time, are you thinking, yeah, that would be a great challenge as well, and I feel that I'm ready to make that step?
Of course, yeah. Every league up is a massive jump. I think people describe League One to the Championship as probably the hardest jump, but the Premier League, I can't see that being any easier of a jump. So it's something that obviously I would love to be a part of, and hopefully we get there.
You have scored at Wembley before, of course. So we talk about how special it is to play there, but you've experienced it before. Does that count for anything going into a game like this? That that atmosphere that stadium can bring.
I think it can. I think it can help, especially if some of the boys haven't played there. We've got quite a few players that have played there before. A lot of them played there more than once, and I've only played there once, like you say. But to the atmosphere, the pitch is a lot bigger. The atmosphere is different. The heat of the game feels different. It's always quite hot at Wembley, especially in the summer. So I guess that a little bit of experience might help. Obviously, I've scored there, so that brings back good memories. So hopefully we can recreate that.
Yeah, what do you remember of that? Pretty special goal it was too, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good one. It was a good one. In extra time, hopefully we can recreate some of the scenes.
Just a couple bit more from me. You will of course have fans in. We saw that the FA Cup final the other day where they had 21,000 in. Is it a disappointment to you that they perhaps can't get as many of your Swansea fans in to pack you?
Of course, yeah. We want as many fans as physically possible. Like I said, the FA Cup had 20 plus 21, I think it was. So if they'd done that safely and securely, and I don't see why they couldn't do it again. But there's obviously something that stopped them from doing it. But I heard we've got 5,000 now, so that's more than it was originally. So any little boost is good for the team.
And it is a relatively small number in a big stadium, but do you still feel that they can have an impact and an influence?
Of course, yeah. It doesn't matter how many's there. They'll always sing their heart out. It might even echo even more because it'll be half empty. But either way, the atmosphere will still be electric. It's still a big game, and I'm sure our fans will be singing loud as they can.
And just finally from me, and it's off topic, but earlier this season, Swansea had the boycott of social media. Then we saw other people follow, governing bodies, broadcasters, and so on. But then we see last night Marcus Rashford saying within a couple of hours of full time he's had 70 racial slurs on his social media. So I'm just wondering, what next? The boycotts came and went. They were well respected at the time. Have they had the effect? And is there anything more that you think can be done to stop this?
I honestly don't think the boycotts do that much. Obviously, it's good to spread awareness, but in terms of stopping people actually being racist, it doesn't do anything. It just adds awareness to the whole situation because, like I say, we've had Swansea themselves. We've had 2 boycotts this season. The whole EFL had one this season. The whole EFL had one last season, and I think the season before that as well. So the same problems are occurring. So until the social media platforms start to do more, then I think people are always going to be the same and be able to send the abuse, because you put it in perspective. I've posted a video of a goal that I've scored on Instagram, but it'll get removed because I don't own the footage. The EFL owns the footage, but then they can monitor that and take that down, but they can't monitor and take down the racial abuse that people are sending. So it's just priorities, really.
And how are you players in the club protecting yourselves? Is there anything more you can do, or is there anything the club's doing to help you guys if you do get that sort of abuse?
Obviously, we've got people to speak to if you're ever feeling a type of way about it. But as players, all you can really do is try to ignore it, or the sad thing will be to make your social media private, and then no one will be able to follow. Like, do you know what I mean? Fans won't be able to follow you. You'll only accept your family and friends, which will be the sad part, because social media has so many positive bits, being able to interact with fans and whatnot, and to lock that completely off and go private on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, because a small minority always ruin it, would be sad for everyone.
That's great stuff. Thanks for speaking to us, Jamal. All the best for the weekend.
Thank you.
Hi, Jamal. You touched on your goal for Pompey at Wembley. It was a pretty special one, wherever you'd scored it. Can you just talk us through it?
No, it was the Checkatrade final. It's gone to extra time. I think I scored in the second half of extra time to go 2-1 up, thinking that's it, that's the winner. They can't score in the last 5 minutes, and they did. So it went to penalties, and thankfully I scored my penalty and our goalie saved one of theirs. So it ended in a nice celebration.
You'd probably take a tap in this weekend and no penalty shootout, I guess.
Yeah, of course. I'll take a tap in all day in the 90 minutes and the game's over. But however the game pans out, we're all prepared for it. Whether it's 120, whether it's 90, whether it's pens, we've done our prep, and we believe that we've put ourselves in the right position and done all the right things to do what we need to do.
Would that be the best one moment of your career, Jamal, that Wembley day?
Yeah, most probably. And it was, like I say, it was a big game. It was pre-corona, and the stadium was full, 80,000 people there. So that was a big moment. But that's what you dream about as a kid. You want to play in the big games, in the big moments, score important goals, and hopefully there's many more of those to come.
And I think every kid in the land dreams, every kid who likes football dreams of playing at Wembley. What's it like when you can actually see Wembley from the park or in the back garden, wherever you were playing as a kid?
It's crazy because, like I say, it was so close. I could see it from the training ground every day. Once they built it, they built an outlet shopping centre next door. Like, as a kid, I was always going there. Like, before Wembley Stadium was built, there used to be a market there called Wembley Market. We used to go there every weekend. It's just such a big staple in the community, and to be able to play there is obviously an honour. That's the games you want to play in. You want to play at Wembley, so it's a big achievement and a big privilege to play there.
Have you still got family there, Jamal? And have you managed to get a ticket?
All my family, both sides. My mum and dad, my missus' mum and dad, cousins. The lot all live pretty much in Harrow, so it's very local to Wembley, like 15 minutes. The ones that are able to come will be a 15-minute journey to the game, so that'll be amazing. Yeah, it's just a big stadium for big occasions.
And when you were working as a PE teacher, playing in the 7th tier, you were thinking then just about getting back into the Football League, weren't you, rather than potentially playing in the Premier League?
Yeah, exactly. At those times, I was thinking, can I get in the Conference Prem, or can I get a League 2 club? Do you know what I mean? Those were that was the ambition, that was the goal, to get into a top Conference Prem club, or maybe even a struggling League 2 club, and see what I can do from there. But thankfully, Portsmouth come in, and the rest is history. We've just tried to kick on every season, and every step that's gone up, try and prove yourself at that level.
And how about a crack at the Premier League? Manchester United, Liverpool, Arsenal, all the rest. I mean, Pretty
That's
exciting
like I
prospect.
say, that is the dream. I'm sure that's the dream for all the players. Some have done it before, but for myself, that's definitely the dream. Like I say, playing at Wembley is every kid's dream, but Premier League wise, playing at Old Trafford, Anfield, Emirates, all those stadiums, Tottenham's new ground, like the best stadiums in England, even in Europe to a certain extent, it'd be a dream.
And just quickly, before I let someone else have a go, can I just ask you about Steve Cooper? And he obviously brought you to the club. What's he been like for you as your head coach? Have you enjoyed working for him?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he's been really good with me. He's spent a lot of time with me, either in the video room with Marshy or on the training ground working on certain things, positional bits. Because majority of the season I was playing in a new position, a new role, and he helped me really adapt. So that it was understanding when perhaps it didn't go as great as it might have done. So that definitely helped me as well. Like, because I think there was a stage everyone was talking about I've gone a certain amount of games without scoring a goal. But throughout that time, he was great with me. He had no pressure, like no added pressure. He had full confidence in me, and I'm just thankful for that.
The players clearly responded to him all along. What is it that makes him a good head coach?
Apart from his obviously his footballing knowledge and tactics and philosophy, I think it's just him as a person, his character, his personality that vibes well with the players. Do you know what I mean? Everyone gets along with him. I don't think anyone's really got a bad relationship with him. So I think that is a people person. I think that's the main thing. He knows how to. Every person's got a different character or reacts to things differently, and I think he's good at getting the best out of whatever that person's character is. If that makes sense. Thank you.
Good luck.
That's one, mate.
Hi, Jamal. How are you?
Jamal, in terms of coming in, you mentioned there about playing in the Premier League, and it's your sort of.
James Wonder go next to talk sport.
Cheers, thank you. Hi, Jamal. How are you?
You're right, James. Yeah, good. Thanks, mate.
Good stuff. Jamal, just how proud are you of your footballing journey and what you've already been able to achieve in the game?
It's been one hell of a journey. It's something that I try not to look back on too much at the minute because I'm still in the process of trying to strive forward. But some days, yeah, you do think like I'll get reminders or a year, 2 years ago today or 3 years ago today, like it pops up on your phone. He was doing this, and I said, bloody hell. A couple of years ago today, I was doing a PE class, and now I'm playing for Swansea in the Championship. Do you know what I mean? So there is a lot of pinch yourself moments, but definitely achieving this goal would be the proudest of them all.
And as you said, you were a PE teacher at one point. How did that come about, and how did you find that experience?
It came about when obviously I was playing in non-league, and the money is not the greatest, to put it simply. You just can't. Well, you can at some clubs, but where I was in the stage of my career, I couldn't make ends meet with it, so I had to get a job, like you do. And I knew a player that I played with before, John Nurse, was starting a coaching company, and I started coaching with him. And from there, it went from football coaching to PE teaching and just delivering all PE lessons in a school. So it was just a fluid movement, really. I went from just being a coach to being a full-fledged PE teacher, and it definitely helped me in that time.
And what do you think has been the key from taking you to where you were then to where you are now? What sort of mental traits did you require to get in the situation when you're currently preparing for a Championship playoff final at Wembley?
I think it's just the strength to know that things don't always go smoothly, which I've seen. I've had some really lows and I've had some really highs, and it's just trying to be able to maintain a steady head level of, you don't get too high when things are doing great and you don't get too low when they're not doing so great, because I think that's where some people struggle. I've struggled with it before, and when you're going for a bad rut, it's the worst thing in the world. And you see it all over the place, where the player's in a bad rut and it just seems to get worse and worse, and they look half the player that they are. And it's just trying to maintain a certain level of headspace, reminding yourself of you've seen the good bits, you've seen the bad bits, you know who you are, you haven't changed, you're the same player, the same person, and just trying to stay level like that.
And in terms of the preparations for this game, getting that victory over Barnsley, because it was quite a difficult end to the season, really. But do you feel like you as a squad are completely back on track now and full of confidence heading to Wembley?
Yeah, of course. It's been a tough season. The schedule's been really hard, and the players have had to dig in, and injuries have come and go, and suspensions and all that kind of thing. So I think to end the season with this would be amazing.
And do you feel like you are underdogs heading into this game? You've had 2 really tight games in the league. They obviously finished ahead of you in the table. Where do you feel like this game is in terms of who's the favourites?
I don't know really. Like I say, we've drawn twice, and they finished 2 points above us. So there's not that much split in it really. So we've prepared our best to win the tie, and we'll go from there.
And finally, if I can ask you about Andre Ayew, how much have you enjoyed playing with him this season, and just how important is he for this Swansea squad? Because it's been an incredible resurgence, really, for him, because at one point it wasn't clear whether he'd play for the club again, but he's back here now playing such an important role.
Yeah, Andre is the guy, mate. Andre is the guy. So I'm just happy to be around him, learn from him, play with him. Like he's just a top guy, top player. And like you say, he's massively important to us. He's helped me so much playing in a new role in a new team. And you don't get that everywhere. Sometimes senior pros, you play in the same position, things could be a little bit shaky between you. But he's been the complete opposite. Do you know what I mean? He's welcomed me in open arms, like proper guy, proper player. Just, I can't say enough. I can't say a bad word about him. Do you know what I mean?
Top man. Cheers, Jamal. All the best for the game.
Okay, guys, we just got a few more broadcast ones. If Ali Maxwell can go, and then Jim Conlon, if you can jump in after that, and then finally Daniel Bevan, and that'll be the end of the broadcast section.
Thank you. Hi, Jamal. My name's Ali. I'm from Totally Football League show Extra Time.
How's it going, mate?
Incredible effort in both legs from the semi-final, and defensively out of possession in particular, Swansea were incredible. Defending is a team effort, and you certainly do your bit from the front. What was it like watching your back line and midfield at times thwart so many Barnsley attacks and waves of pressure over those 2 legs?
That's what we've prided ourselves on all year. Obviously, we've got a great foundation defensively. Obviously, we've got Freddie in goal. He's got the golden glove. Do you know what I mean? He didn't get it for no reason. He's a top goalie, and the defence is and midfield are top. That's just the truth. Do you know what I mean? They work so hard to stop chances being created, and whenever someone is able to cut us open, Freddie's there to make the saves that he does. So I think that's something that we've prided ourselves on all year. The goals we conceded this season have been one of the lowest, and like you say, Fred with the golden glove, like it's just something that's worked well with us. Make sure we're strong defensively, and then go from there.
2 20-year-old centre backs in Ben Cabango and Mark Gahey getting understandable plaudits after those semi-finals, and Mark Gahey as well earning a lot of love online after his very humble interviews after the game when being named man of the match. He said he didn't think he deserved the man of the match award. Did you guys give him a bit of stick in the dressing room after that?
Yeah, I see that the next day when I watched it back. But yeah, like I say, those two, both 20 years old, like they're unbelievable. They're both going to be real. They already are top players, but they're going to be real top future of football type of players. Mark Gouy, 20 at Chelsea, and Cabango here, Wales international, and we've got Joel Latabodier, 20 as well on the bench. Like they're all top players. So the future's bright for all of them, and I just hope that they can stay at Swansea for as long as possible.